The cry in the snow, the wind howled like a beast across the alien forest. White snow covered everything: trees, rocks, even the wreck of the escape pod that had crashed hours ago. Human soldier Liam Cross pulled his jacket tighter as the freezing wind cut through him. His legs were tired, his food was gone, and the radio was dead. But something made him stop. He heard a sound. It was faint at first, like a whisper in the wind. But there it was, again, a cry. It wasn't a bird, it wasn't a machine. It sounded like a baby. Liam froze. What the hell? He turned his head, listening carefully. The sound came again, weak and trembling. Crying. Definitely a child. Liam's heart pounded. What kind of baby cries out here in this alien world? He pushed through the snow, following the sound. A few minutes later, under a bent tree branch, he saw something that didn't belong in the white. A small bundle, wrapped in a strange alien cloth. Blue silk-like fabric shimmered in the snow. The bundle moved. It cried again. Liam dropped to his knees and slowly pulled the cloth back. His breath caught in his throat. A baby girl, alien. But not terrifying. Her skin was soft purple. Her small eyes, silver and glowing, looked at him with fear and innocence. You single quotes read ... a baby alien. He whispered, almost laughing in disbelief. The child reached out weakly, her tiny hand trembling. Liam looked around. No footprints nearby except one trail going away from the baby, maybe the mother's. But she had left the baby here, in the cold, to die. Why would anyone do this? Liam muttered, feeling anger rise inside him. He stood up. His training screamed, "Don't interfere. Don't get involved with alien affairs." But the baby cried again. The sound was softer now. She was dying. He looked down at her again. Maybe he should walk away. He was already low on food. He was injured. And if aliens were watching, he could be punished or worse for touching her. But his feet didn't move. His fingers reached down instead. He gently picked her up. The baby was cold. Too cold. Her tiny body leaned into his chest, trying to find warmth. Liam swore under his breath. "I guess you're coming with me." He wrapped her tighter and tucked her. Inside his jacket, she fit snugly against him. Her cries softened as he started walking again. Something shiny caught his eye near the tree. It was blood, purple blood, dried on the snow leading into the woods. Liam's stomach turned. He followed it for a few meters and saw something drawn into the ground with a sharp rock, a strange symbol, a triangle with 3 dots. The edges were scratched deep, almost in panic. A warning? Liam's soldier instincts kicked in. This wasn't a random child. This was a message, a setup, maybe even a trap. But why leave the baby out here? As he studied the symbol, he heard a weak groan. He turned fast, hand on his weapon. Just a few meters away, half covered in snow, lay the body of an alien woman. She was barely alive. Her skin was pale purple, like the baby's. Her clothes were torn. Blood soaked her side. She looked at him, eyes full of pain and fear. She tried to speak. Liam knelt beside her. "Is this your child?" The woman's lips moved. Her voice was dry. "Please protect her." "Who is she?" Liam asked. "Why is she being hunted?" The woman coughed blood. "She is not ordinary. She must live." Liam leaned closer. "Who's after her?" The woman grabbed his arm weakly. "Ones from the sky. If they find her, all will fall." Her hand slipped. Her eyes stayed open but lifeless. She was gone. Liam stood there for a moment, silent, as the snow began to fall heavier. He looked down at the baby in his jacket. She looked up at him with wide eyes, then slowly closed them again. Liam took a deep breath. He was alone, on a cold alien planet, with a baby that others wanted dead. He could still walk away, but something deep in his chest, something human, refused. He turned toward the forest and began walking. "Let's get you out of here, little one." A message in blood. Liam walked through the snow-covered forest, holding the baby close to his chest. The little alien girl was quiet now. Her body had stopped shaking, but her skin was still cold. He had wrapped her in all the cloth he could find, even part of his own scarf. The wind had slowed, but the air was still biting. Every breath felt like ice inside his lungs. He kept looking over his shoulder. He couldn't stop thinking about the woman, her last words, the fear in her voice. "They are coming." From the sky. Who were they? Why did she say everything would fall if they found this child? What? He had so many questions, but no time to think. If someone was after the baby, they might already be tracking him. He needed shelter, a place to hide, somewhere safe. His boots crunched in the snow as he moved deeper into the forest. A narrow path curved downhill. In the distance, he saw rocky cliffs and what looked like a small cave. "Please be real," he whispered as he reached the mouth of the cave. He scanned the area. No signs of movement, no heat signatures on his wrist scanner. Just frozen silence. He stepped inside. It was small, but dry. Big enough for one person and, now two. He sat down on a flat rock and gently unwrapped the baby. Her silver eyes opened. Slowly, she blinked at him, tiny and tired. Liam reached into his emergency pack. A thermal blanket, an energy bar, and a small heater. He placed the baby near the heater and covered her. Slowly, her skin turned from pale violet to a healthier shade of purple. She was breathing better now. "You're stronger than you look," he said softly. "What's your name, huh?" She blinked again, then reached out and touched his hand. Suddenly, Liam felt a warm pulse through his fingers. A strange light moved across his skin. It didn't hurt, but it shocked him. It was like her touch spoke directly to his cells. The cut on his wrist, the one he'd gotten during the crash, began to close. He stared in disbelief. She had healed him. "What are you?" Before he could think more, his wrist scanner beeped, soft but urgent. He checked it fast. Motion detected. 6 lifeforms. They were approaching from the direction of the crash site. Not human. Not animals. Definitely not friendly. Liam quickly packed the heater, lifted the baby, and held her close again. Time to move. But before he could exit the cave, something caught his eye on the inner wall. More symbols carved into the rock. Triangles, dots, lines. It's the same symbol the woman had drawn in the snow. Only older, deeper. These weren't just warnings. They were a map. And a message. Liam touched the wall. Some of the carvings glowed faintly under his fingers. One symbol looked like a crown. Another like a child. Another showed a falling star. He didn't understand alien language, but his gut told him this cave was not just a hiding place. It was a marker. Something sacred. He turned back toward the entrance and stopped. A shadow moved across the snow. Liam ducked low and peeked out. 6 tall figures walked silently. Armored, thin, sharp bodies. Glowing eyes. They were scanning the area, moving like hunters. He pressed his back to the cave wall, heart racing. He held the baby tightly. She made no sound. Her eyes were closed again. One of the hunters paused. Its head turned slightly, as if listening. Liam stayed frozen. He didn't breathe. Then the hunter moved on. Minutes felt like hours, but eventually, the group disappeared into the trees. Liam let out a slow breath. That was too close. He looked down at the baby. She was sleeping again. Who were those things? Why were they hunting a child? And why did that alien woman say the girl wasn't like the others? Liam knew one thing for sure now. This baby wasn't just a helpless orphan. She was important and dangerous. But she had chosen him. She had touched him, healed him. And somehow, Liam felt like he had been chosen too. He sat down again, trying to think. He had to move. The cave wasn't safe for long. But before he left, he pulled out his survival knife. He walked to the rock wall and added something to the ancient symbols. A new mark, his own symbol. A message for any who came after. She lives. Hunters from the sky, the snow had started falling again. Heavier than before, Liam pushed through the white storm with the baby in his arms, holding her close beneath his thick jacket. Her tiny hand clung to the collar of his shirt, and her breathing was calm for now, but Liam wasn't calm. His scanner showed what he feared. They were being followed. The 6 alien hunters had turned back. They were tracking him again. "They're not giving up," he muttered. He needed a plan. He needed shelter, real shelter, not just a hole in the ground. Somewhere he could hide, regroup, and figure out what this baby really meant to these creatures. He checked his map again. 2 kilometers east, on the edge of a cliff, was an old human listening post. Abandoned years ago, maybe still standing. He adjusted his grip on the child and moved faster. The cliffside post was hidden under layers of snow, but Liam found the outline of the doors. The outer panels were broken. He kicked them open with one hard push and stepped inside, dark, cold, silent. He used his wrist light to guide the way. The post had been empty a long time. Broken chairs, rusted consoles, dust on every surface, but the walls still stood. It would do. He placed the baby on a soft pile of cloth and activated a small heat pod. Warmth filled the room slowly. She opened her eyes and stared at him. A tiny smile formed on her lips. Liam smiled back. "You like this place, huh?" Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark, not just a trick of light. They glowed from inside. That same strange warmth spread from her hand to his skin again. He felt stronger just being near her. "What are you, little one?" Suddenly, a beeping noise flashed on the console behind him. He turned fast. A system had come to life. The power pod from his wristband had charged an old backup battery. The screen lit up. Signal detected. Unknown craft entering atmosphere. Liam's single quotes eyes narrowed. He tapped the monitor. A rough radar image showed a ship not human, sleek, sharp, shaped like a blade. It was descending fast, landing in the same forest he'd just escaped. They sent a ship for her. He turned and looked at the baby again. "They're not just searching, they're hunting you like prey." The screen flashed again. Transmission intercepted, encrypted language, audio, ONLY. He pressed play. The alien voice that filled the room was cold, emotionless. Target marked. Royal asset detected. Eliminate human interference. Retrieve. The air? Alive. Liam's chest tightened. Royal asset. Air. So the baby wasn't just important. She was part of the royal family, the daughter of someone powerful. And those hunters, they were killers, sent not to protect her, but to take her, maybe to control her or destroy her. The woman in the snow, mother, must have been trying to save her from her own kind. He turned off the transmission and knelt beside the child. "Whoever you are," he whispered, "you're not going back to them." Just then, the outpost trembled. Something landed on the roof. Hard. Liam grabbed his weapon and backed against the wall. The ceiling creaked. Then metal claws punched through, tearing the panels open. Snow poured in, and with it, one of the hunters, tall, silver armor, eyes glowing red, curved weapon in its hand. It stepped inside, scanning the room. Liam fired first. His blast hit The hunter's chest sparks flew, but it didn't fall. The hunter moved fast, knocking over metal chairs like paper. Liam dove to shield the baby. She screamed. Light burst from her, again blinding and warm. It hit the hunter full in the face. The alien staggered. Liam didn't wait. He jumped forward and emptied his blaster into the creature's chest. This time, it dropped. Smoke filled the room. Liam turned to the baby. She wasn't crying anymore. Her eyes were closed again. Her glow was gone. She had saved them both. "You're full of surprises," said, breathless. He knew the others would come soon. This was just the first. But he also knew one more thing now. This baby wasn't just some royal child. She was something more. Maybe a weapon. Maybe a symbol. Maybe the key to something greater. And he, a lost human soldier, was now the only thing standing between her and those who wanted her gone. Liam held her tight and whispered, "Let them come." The baby's secret. Liam worked fast, sealing the broken roof with metal sheets and snow-covered panels. The alien hunter's body lay nearby, still, cold, and leaking thick black fluid. He dragged it into the far corner and covered it. He didn't want the baby to see it. Well, when she woke up, she had been asleep since the attack. Peaceful, calm. But Liam couldn't stop thinking about what she did. She had blinded the hunter with nothing but light that came from her body. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't technology. It was her. "What are you, little star?" he whispered, sitting beside her. He watched her sleep, listening to the soft sound of her breathing. Every now and then, her small fingers moved as if dreaming. Then something happened. The lights in the room flickered. The old screens on the wall blinked to life without power. Liam stood quickly. The baby's eyes were still closed, but her body glowed with soft white light again. Not from fear this time, but peace. As she glowed brighter, the lights followed her pulse. The radar screen showed spinning shapes. Words appeared written in a language Liam couldn't understand. And then images, they flashed quickly on the screen. Alien symbols, star maps, a temple, a throne, a woman holding a glowing child in her arms. The baby, it was her. Liam stepped closer. His heart beat faster. This was no ordinary infant. She was connected to something vast, something ancient, a royal bloodline, a prophecy, a power the hunters wanted to control or destroy. The lights dimmed. The baby's glow faded. The screen went black. She opened her eyes, looked up at Liam, and reached out with her tiny hand. He held it gently. "I don't know what they were trying to make you," he said, "but they're not going to have you." Suddenly, a message crackled through the console's broken speaker. "Echo Team, report. Is the child secured? Confirm extraction. Hostile human must be neutralized. Repeat, neutralize the human." Liam's jaw clenched. They weren't just tracking him anymore. They were coming. He pulled his pack over his shoulder, wrapped the baby in fresh cloth, and powered down all lights. It was time to run again. But as he approached the door, something stopped him. A low hum came from behind one of the metal panels. Curious, he pried it open and found a sealed case. Military design. Human tech. He forced it open. Inside was a small metal cube on AI assistant core, half functional, probably left behind years ago. He tapped the side. The cube blinked blue. Unit 17. Reactivating. The voice was weak, but still working. "Liam." "Set it down. Can you scan this child?" he asked. "Tell me what she is." The AI glowed. A soft beam scanned the baby. Her eyes followed the light, but she didn't fuss. After a moment, the AI spoke again. "Species unknown hybrid. Pattern, celestial class. Estimated threat level, extreme." Genetic signature matches recorded data from lost royal bloodline of Nyari Prime. Status: Queen's daughter. Hidden until now. Liam's head spun. Queen's daughter. Hidden. Additional note, the AI added, protecting this child. Will trigger galaxy-level alert protocols from Nyari elite forces. Liam cursed under his breath, so she wasn't just a lost child, she was a hidden heir. And by protecting her, he had become an enemy of the most dangerous empire in this region of the galaxy. He looked at the baby again. Her tiny hand was wrapped around his shirt. She didn't look like a weapon. She looked like a child. But inside her lived something the galaxy feared. I don't care who's coming, Liam said. I'm not giving her up. The AI word? Then you'll need help. He opened a second compartment. Inside was a small weapon, cash emergency use only. Enough to hold off enemies for a short time. He loaded up quickly. Time was running out. The AI flashed again. Signal intercepted. 2 ships incoming. Time to arrival, 1 hour. Liam looked out the broken window. Dark. Clouds moved across the sky. The enemy was coming fast. He tightened the scarf around the baby, secured his gear, and stepped into the cold. Snow fell in thick sheets now, but this time, Liam didn't feel. Alone, she was still glowing faintly in his arms, and in that glow was hope. Betrayal at the outpost. Liam walked through the snow-covered cliffs with the baby wrapped tightly in his jacket. The wind had died, but the silence was heavier now, too still, too quiet. He was heading toward an old contact point outpost, Gray Line, a half-functioning human base once used for deep-range signals. He remembered it from training. It had food, warmth, and, most importantly, a working transmitter. Maybe, just maybe, he could send a message to Earth. Get help. Or at least send a warning. The baby cooed softly. Her silver eyes blinked up at him, full of trust. Liam tightened his grip. Almost there, little star, he said. We'll find a way. Outpost Gray Line stood like a dead machine in the frozen mountain valley, metal walls bent with rust, antennas broken. But the outer gates still worked as he approached the entry scanner. A red light flashed. Then a voice crackled through the speaker. Who's out there? Liam stepped closer. Private. Liam Cross, Terran Recon Unit. I need entry. Emergency situation. Silence. Then the gates creaked open. Inside, a familiar face stepped into view. Keel, a former soldier Liam had met during border patrol months ago. Now he wore old armor and a look of surprise. Liam, Keel asked, You're alive? Barely. Liam answered, I need shelter and help. Keel stared at the baby in Liam's arms. Is that what I think it is? I'll explain inside, Liam said quickly. Keel's quarters were warmer than Liam expected. A working generator hummed in the background. There was food, a med kit. He handed Liam a drink and sat across from him. So, Keel said, Tell me why you're running through frozen death with a glowing alien baby. Liam gave the short version. The crash, the baby, the dead mother, the hunters, the attack, the cave, the power inside the child. Keel listened quietly, nodding, his eyes sharp but unreadable. She healed you? Keel asked. Yeah, Liam said, and she did more. She's different. She's not just some alien child. She's connected to something big. I need to protect her. Keel leaned back in his chair. Right, he said softly. And you think the people chasing her will just give up? No. That's why I need your help. Keel looked at the child again. Her glow was soft now, peaceful. Well, you're lucky you found me, Keel said finally. I've got a working transmitter. We'll get a signal to command. Maybe get a dropship in here. Liam felt a spark of hope. Thank you, he said. But outside the room, Keel's communicator buzzed. silently. A message flashed. Target confirmed. Human carrying royal asset. Coordinates locked, reward doubled on successful capture. And Keel, without a word, sent a reply. Preparing package. Stand by for extraction. Liam laid the baby down gently on a soft blanket and checked his gear. He didn't notice Keel watching from the doorway. "You've changed," Keel said. "Near death will do that?" Liam replied. "No. I mean, you're different. You're not just protecting her. You're bonded to her." Liam nodded. "She's innocent, Keel. And somehow she trusts me. I'm not leaving her." Keel smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Then he spoke casually. "What if someone offered you a way out? Give her up. Walk away clean. No more running. No more danger." Liam's face turned cold. "I wouldn't take it." Keel nodded slowly. "I figured," he said. Then he drew his weapon. Liam reacted, instantly diving for cover behind the table. A blast scorched the wall where his head had been. "Keel, don't do this," Liam shouted. "You don't get it." Keel yelled back. "She's worth more than both of us combined. They'll forgive everything I've done if I deliver her. You think this galaxy needs more alien royals?" Another blast shook the wall. Liam grabbed his sidearm and fired back one shot, enough to break the light fixture. Sparks filled the room. Smoke, darkness, confusion. He grabbed the baby and ran toward the maintenance. Hall Keel's voice echoed behind him. "You're throwing away your life for a thing that isn't even human." Liam turned once, just for a second. "She's more human than you are." Then he was gone. The tunnels under the outpost were tight and full of frost, but they led to the surface exit. Liam ran through them, heart pounding, baby held close. He emerged in the cold again night sky above, stars blinking silently behind him. Alarms blared. Keel was calling in the hunter's ship. They were coming again. Liam looked down at the child. She was awake, glowing, staring at him like she knew everything. "I won't let them take you," he whispered. He turned and ran into the dark forest once more. This time, not just a soldier, but a guardian. Asterisk fire and snow. The night sky exploded. With light, Liam sprinted through the forest as bright blue flames lit up the treetops behind him. The alien dropship had landed loud, powerful, and full of danger. He could hear engines whining, weapons charging, and boots stomping in the snow. "They're here," he muttered. The baby in his arms made a soft sound, not fear, but alertness. Her eyes glowed slightly in the dark, as if sensing the threat. Ahead, Liam stopped behind a large tree and looked down at her. "You saved me once," he whispered, "but tonight, I protect you." He checked his last few weapons. 2 grenades, a plasma blade, and 1 overcharged blaster. He had no backup, no allies, just him, and a child that could light up the sky. Footsteps crunched in the snow nearby. The alien hunters were spreading out. One passed close. Liam could see its armor through the trees. Tall, silver blue, with red lights pulsing on the arms. These weren't scouts anymore. These were elites. He waited. Then, boom! An explosion rocked the forest as Liam threw a grenade. Behind him, the hunter turned too late. The blast tore the trees apart and sent smoke into the air. Liam ran again, ducking under branches, his boots sinking in the snow. More footsteps followed. Voices in an alien language shouted commands. "He has the air. Kill the human. Retrieve the child. Live." Liam's lungs burned, but he didn't stop. He jumped across a frozen stream and slid behind a rock wall. The baby clung to him tighter, her tiny fingers digging into his jacket. "I know, little one," he whispered. "We're almost there." He had one goal now: reach the edge of the canyon where old Terran signal beacons still stood. If he could boost a distress signal high enough, maybe someone would hear it. Maybe Earth would send help. But the hunters weren't waiting. They dropped from the sky silent, fast, like shadows. One landed in front of him, sword drawn. Its mask reflected Liam's face. He didn't hesitate. He drew his plasma blade and struck first. Sparks flew. Metal hit metal. The hunter roared and slashed, but Liam ducked and rolled. He placed the baby behind a rock and turned back to fight. Another blow came fast and sharp. Liam blocked it with his arm. Pain shot up his shoulder. The blade had grazed him. He growled and stabbed forward straight into the alien's chest. The hunter froze. Sparks flying from its armor, then collapsed to the ground. Liam gasped, holding his bleeding arm, but there was no time to rest. Two more hunters dropped down from the trees. Liam grabbed the baby and ran again. A voice came through the air deep, sharp, and cruel. You are outnumbered, human. Surrender the royal. You are unworthy. Liam turned, blood on his face, and shouted back, I don't need to be worthy. I just need to keep her safe. One of the hunters fired. The shot hit the ground near his feet, sending snow and fire into the air. Liam fell. The baby tumbled from his arms. No, he scrambled forward, but stopped. The baby stood. Yes, stood. Her tiny legs were shaking, but she glowed brighter than ever before. Her eyes turned silver white, and her entire body pulsed with light. The hunters paused, then dash boom. A blast of energy burst from her like a wave. It was not fire, not a weapon. It was pure force swarm, bright, unstoppable. The blast threw the hunters back into the trees. Their armor shattered. Trees snapped. Snow melted into steam. Liam shielded his eyes. When the light faded, silence fell. The baby collapsed into his arms, unconscious but breathing. Liam held her close, stunned. You saved us again, he whispered. His wrist scanner beeped. Signal acquired. Emergency beacon activated. Transmission sent. Liam looked toward the stars. Somewhere out there, someone would hear his call. But until they arrived, he would keep fighting. He would not let her go. Because this child, this alien baby, wasn't just royalty. She was hope, and Liam Cross had become her sword. A new beginning. The forest was burning behind them. Liam stood at the edge of the cliff, snow melting around his feet as smoke curled into the sky. His clothes were torn, his arm bleeding, and his strength almost gone. But he was still standing in his arms. The baby slept quietly safe, glowing faintly. Her small hands curled against his chest. She had saved them. Again. Her power was more than light, was life. It was something pure and ancient. Liam looked up above the mountains. A soft hum filled the air. Then, ship appeared sleek, golden, and massive. Unlike the hunter crafts, this one moved slowly, like it carried peace instead of war. It shone like a star as it descended into the clearing. He took a step back, unsure then, from the ship's underbelly. A circular platform lowered, and on it stood three tall figures, dressed in flowing robes, not armor. One of them an alien. Woman with silver skin and eyes that matched the baby stepped forward. She didn't carry weapons, only sorrow and hope. Liam raised his weapon halfway, still cautious. Who are you? The woman bowed her head gently. I am Valari, royal guardian of the Niari bloodline. We came to bring her home. Liam's grip tightened. I'm not giving her two more killers. Valari shook her head. We are not hunters. We fought to stop those who wanted to control her, the ones who sent the death squads. They were traitors. Shadows of the throne. She saved me, Liam said quietly. She saved herself. She's not a tool. She's not your property. No, Valari said. She is our queen. Liam Blinked.velar, I continued, her voice soft. She was hidden before birth, to protect her from those who feared her power. Her mother was betrayed by our own counsel. But the child lived because of you. Liam looked down at the baby. Her eyes were open now, and she was watching Valari. Stepped forward slowly. Let us protect her now, with your blessing. Liam hesitated. He had come so far, fought so much. Every part of him said not to trust strangers with her, but the baby reached out toward. Valara no fear in her gaze. Then she turned and looked at Liam. That tiny silver stare said something without words. Thank you. Liam knelt and whispered, You'll be okay now. He kissed her forehead, and for a moment her glow pulsed warmly across his face. Valari took her gently, cradling the childlike treasure. She remembers you, she said. You were her shield when no one else stood. You gave her something. No royal title could. Love. Liam stood slowly, still watching. Will she be safe? He asked. Valari nodded. With us, she will be more than safe. She will be free. As the ship rose again, the platform lifting into the stars, Liam felt the cold wind return. For the first time in days, it didn't feel heavy. It didn't feel cruel. He had done his part. But as he turned to leave, Valari's voice called from above. There is another choice. He looked up. She is young, and she will need a guide. Not just warriors or teachers. Someone who stood by her when she was nothing more than a cry in the snow. Liam froze. You would live among us, Valari said, as her guardian. As her family. The wind went still. He looked back at the burning forest, at the stars above, at the ship that glowed like a new dawn. Then he smiled. Tell her, I'll never leave her. Years later, stories spread across the galaxy of a silver ride. Queen raised not in a palace, but by a human warrior. Of peace forged between worlds. Of a man who once stood in the snow, alone, and chose to protect life instead of destroy it. And in the heart of the shining empire of Nyari Prime, a statue stood, a tall human, battle-worn, holding a small, glowing child in his arms. Beneath it, the words were carved in many languages. He could have walked away, but he chose to stay.